Holy Touch of Praise. Yeah, it's always an honor to be part of the show. Thank you, Amelia, for having us.
Thank you for honoring our invitation. Well, according to the topics that we've had, and as you've had them, what was that topic that was challenging to you? What is that topic that you feel like, this one, call it really, it's a lesson to learn? Martha, what was that topic?
The topic that stood out for me the most in the previous month is the lost art of waiting. It comes at a season where all of us are in a rush for everything. And I personally am not most of the patient people I know of. People keep saying there is no P in my name, so I'm not patient.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm not really patient. So we've lost that art of waiting, that we miss out on very many things. We need to cut shortcuts on very many things, palanya here and there, and in the long way, we end up like losing out on everything and just catching the little bits of it all. So I drew back to how people used to really wait, the waiting season in the harvest. They wait for their harvest. They are patiently waiting. But in this generation, we want things and we want it just there. Just like we can no longer go to the libraries to read and get information, we are going for all the AIs, quick things. So it's one topic that really caught my eye, and I was drawn back to it, and it opened my eyes to going back to waiting and waiting on the Lord.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you. Eddie, what is that topic that challenged you?
Interestingly,
Oh, that interested.
Interestingly, it's the same topic. The lost art of waiting really challenged me, because we are in a world that wants to get the quickest answers, the quickest responses, to a point that we run to AI. Because let's give an example of ChatGPT. Someone wouldn't want to think. Someone would be like, why am I thinking when there's ChatGPT? And the reason that's why it challenged me most is I kept on thinking, every waiting has a reason, like there's always a reason why you need to wait. So we shall reach a point where we are used to these quick answers, and you enter a room and you're being interviewed and you asked a question and you actually cannot think. So we are losing the art of thinking because we want quick things and we are running to AI. It really challenged me a lot. Yeah.
How has this affected us over years? How has the lost art of waiting affected us? Yes, Martha.
About the lost art of waiting, it comes about due to impatience.
Okay.
You're impatient, that's what drives you to looking for other means. So you lose out on very many things because there are hierarchies and steps to everything. So there is the period of waiting. People don't want to sit in that period. They don't want to sit with the Lord. They don't want to sit with the books. They want to sit with conversations. They want it right on point. So along the way, you skip very many steps just to reach onto something that God planned you to find in another way. So while you're cutting shortcuts, you're cutting off all the benefits you would have gotten along the way. You're missing out on all these relationships you would have made while waiting. You're missing out on everything that the Lord packaged with the waiting. An encounter with Him, an encounter with people, an encounter like growth. You do not even grow at all. You just jump right into things. And at the end of the day, it comes right back, because when you miss steps, coming back can be a very heavy downfall on you. So you lose out on very many things. So while it's one of the things that people don't really want to hear, if I want it today. I've seen that shoe. I don't want to even work for it. I just want it like immediately. How can I get it? How can I get a job? No, I want the money like exactly today. So you lose out on very many things, and sometimes you end up doing mistakes. Sometimes they works out for different people, but then you won't be as lucky as those very many people. So along failing to wait, you end up doing very many mistakes, and you end up falling down like.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It reminds me of the day of Pentecost, that Jesus, before he was leaving, he told them, wait, wait to leave Jerusalem until the promise comes. And hey, I assure you, there are those that left. But just imagine everyone left the room in that period. So the Spirit of the Lord would have come, but with no one to
with
feel.
no one there.
Thank God to those that stayed.
Waited.
Yeah, actually.
So yes, it is really, really important to wait.
Yeah. And also to add on what Martha said, I'll use this analogy of a pregnant woman. You know, when you're pregnant, you are expected to wait for 9 months. And in that waiting, there is something developing. Now, what our generation does today is, instead of waiting for the 9 months, they want to take hours. And you cannot give birth to a baby in hours.
In hours, yes.
You cannot carry pregnancy in hours. So we tend to, like Martha said, we tend to lose out on things that we were supposed to gain in our waiting seasons. And that makes us find ourselves in, you find yourself entering a new season with something, with nothing. You find you entering a season without something that you were supposed to get in the past season because you refused to wait. So this has really affected us in very many ways. We have, you know, sometimes, I'll give an example. God may put you in a waiting season to work on your character.
Yeah.
Maybe you are waiting for marriage and God wants you maybe to learn certain lessons, but you are quick to enter another season. You're not first waiting. So when you enter that marriage, you find yourself with things, like you find yourself doing things that you were not supposed to do because you were not able to learn enough in the past season. Yeah, so it has really affected us a lot.
I correlated this topic and learned for being able to be teachable.
Exactly.
Just like there is a lot of time we spend in school, like there is nursery, there is primary, A-level and everything. It's having that humility that I'm going to wait and be in this class and go to another level and to another level. There were steps. But lately, we lose out on very many things because we don't have that humility as children to like simply wait, simply sit there, simply sit with the Lord, simply ask, simply read, simply reach out. So in the long run, just like Edwina said, you lose out on what the Lord has in plan for you. You bump into things and you knock yourself along the way. So yeah.
And patience is a virtue of the Spirit.
Yeah.
So Eddie, what makes people become teachable? What do you think makes them teachable?
What makes people teachable? I think for me, I would say humility.
Okay.
You know, when you are humble enough, regardless of the degrees I have, the masters, the PhD, you still have to learn from people. You can actually learn from someone that is below you, and that can only take humility. And we tend not to learn because we feel like we know it all. And to tell you the truth, most of the people that are successful are the ones who know that they do not know, and they have to learn from people around them, regardless of their status. If I am a biomedical engineer, it's okay for me to learn from a teacher. It's okay for me to learn from a doctor. It's okay for me to learn from any career, a lawyer, because these things actually help me. The Bible tells us that people perish due to lack of knowledge, meaning knowledge is very, very important. And knowledge, it's knowing what to do. It doesn't mean that you have to stick to your field. You have to stick to what you love. You have to explore a lot of things. And for you to be able to learn all these things, you have to be humble. And the other thing would be curiosity. Okay? It is very important to ask questions. Always, you should, when you enter a room, ask, why is this screen here? Why are things done like this? In you asking those questions, you get to learn many things. You get to identify the things that you didn't have identified if you didn't ask. Yeah, so curiosity and humility are very key for you to be able to be teachable.
Wow. That reminds me the scripture that says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. You know, if you don't seek or if you're not teachable, then you literally find a way you're boasting in your knowledge. You don't want to get to know new things. You feel like you're above, people are below you. So you really, really perish. Recently I had gone to town And me being me, I thought I knew that place. Well, town changed. So I moved through the buildings, told myself, no, the building is here. Kept moving. Until I met a friend of mine that I knew. My God, I was going to get lost from town. But he phoned me and he's like, Amira, what are you looking for? I told him I'm looking for this and this. He told me, if you look like that, you think you'll get to where you're going. And he told me, okay, let's move together. And he said, you know, in town you need to ask for direction, otherwise you will. True. So you need to be teachable as a person, even not just a Christian, but as a person we ought to be teachable because it helps us in life. Yes. Martha, what do you think?
I feel like the one thing that fails us from being teachable is pride. Personally, I had been given a job of some kind, and I felt like I knew it. I knew what I was going to do. But the policy was like, first teaches you, like they take you back through all the basics. Because I was seated there, it was computer. So I sat there and they're teaching me these basic things. Katinganda bidadara amalo like nakugambye buno obuntu ki mbutegeera. And me being me, I said it out like never knows. So them woman. Right, like I'm like as though like I'm a starter and stuff. So I later on the person tells me it didn't show a spirit of being told. Teacher. Like I showed a lot of pride into you're taking me back through all this. But still through all this there are some things I really didn't know I was seeing for the first time. But since I nera zera zedanti mnangi manyanga sagala kulaganti sibitegeera. So pride makes us be very, very, very unteachable. It blinds you of the things you don't even know about. It blinds you of the basic things, and you feel like you know msomesa. You know how we can be talking about teachers, onotamani bamjewa, blah blah blah. By the time someone is standing in front of you, they have been verified to come. They have the competence to come and teach you and everything. Short, tall, smart or not. By the time they're in front of you, you can learn from literally anyone, a young child, a baby. So it's about not being prided by our pride. Like, oh, your mana, like that too young. I'm too old to be getting something from them. But just like the saying says, so I feel like pride is one thing that fails us to be teachable. Like you look at everything like I'm too old for this. I'm too beautiful for this. I'm too classy to be taught these basic things. So at the end of the day you lose out on all these things just because pride. Basic pride. Bananda batyanga bansomesa. Your peers out there looking at you and be like ora I can't sasula buyinja. But as days go by, like it should be your like intent to learn from everyone around you. Even if you know something about it, it's one thing. Do not show you're there, like rich teens and Nabi Malada. There is always something new to learn. So it's the pride that actually blinds us from being able to learn.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we also talked about the power of perspective. Now, when we change the way we think, can there be result really? What do you think, Eddie? If I change the way I think, will there be result? Or the way I perceive certain things? Will there be a change on some of the outcome that comes out?
Yeah, so when it comes to perception, it is very important to have a mind that is set towards something. You know, even the Bible tells us that renew your mind so that you may be able to approve and attest God's will. So the way I perceive something really matters. It matters a lot. I think I'll just give an example. So when I entered campus, I studied from Makerere University. I came with this thing of I must get a scholarship regardless, because they told me Makerere offers scholarships. A lot of scholarships are there. So I enter Makerere University and I'm like, if I get a scholarship, I am going to save my parents a lot of money because my course was really expensive. I'm going to save them a lot of money, and maybe my pocket money is going to increase. So I came with that urge of, oh my God, I must get a scholarship. I applied, guys, I applied. First scholarship, I didn't get. I was so depressed. Second scholarship, I still didn't get. So one of my cousins came to Makerere University, I think that was in my year 2, and I helped her. Actually, we did that scholarship, sorry, we did that application together, and she got. So it matters, like, it's the same person applying, but why am I not getting? Now what I did is, in my, like, I looked at it in my Christianity way, and I'm like, God, why am I not getting this scholarship? So what I put in my mind was, Adrian, you're not getting it because your parents have the money. They have the money to teach you. Because my cousin had lost her dad, and they actually really didn't have money at home, but she got. I was like, oh, so good, you set me aside because my family can afford the tuition, and you let the other positions be left aside for those ones who do not have tuition. So I moved with that mindset. Now, when it came to my final year, it was my final semester. My dad loses his job, and I have to graduate. My tuition hasn't been paid. It reached a point where I couldn't afford the tuition. I was like, God, this is that time. So, because I had the mindset of, God, last time you didn't give me the scholarship because my parents had the money. Now this time my parents do not have. Honestly, Ameria, I applied and got a scholarship.
Wow.
So from that time, I told myself, like, it's really, when you enter a situation where you have failed, it will only take your mind to get you out of it. If you tell yourself that this failure is for me to be better, I've lost this job because God has a better job for me. I am not married right now because my husband, God is preparing him. Like, you have to set your mind to a point to a point where you're telling yourself that better things are coming. Because even the Bible tells us that God turns our bad situations into better situations. Like, he will turn what was meant for evil into something good. So if you have that mindset, failure will never affect you. You will fail, but you'll still stand. Like, you'll find someone is going through a lot, but they are still praising, and you're wondering, God, why is it like this? But it's because they have renewed their mind, and they have set their mind to something, telling them that my failure is going to turn out into praise. So mindset really matters a lot. I would say this, a lot.
Yeah. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So indeed. Yes, Martha, what do you think? Can change of perspective really give us a positive outcome?
Yeah, it does. Perspective is literally the way we see things. So someone behind you might be seeing something different from someone standing in front of you, or from someone standing on the sides. So just like someone's life, someone out there sees a jolly, beautiful person. So that's a perspective about you. On the side, someone next to you knows what's really going on in life. So, but perspective is, you don't just look at a tree as it is. You look at it as something that has life. But how I view it is not the same way you view it. So if you're blinded with negativity, mostly the pessimistic people, they view everything in the worst case scenario. So your perspective is blurred with a lot of bad things, a lot of, you have no hope at all, that everything is, you always think of the worst. I might get knocked down, I might do this, I might do this. That's how you view things. Have you met people who never see anything good in anything around, like, I'm going to start a business. What if they steal your money? I'm going to do this. What if all they do is spread negativity, because that's how they see things. And mostly it might be because of trauma or something. But perspective affects people a lot. Because I might see a camera and I see money, and someone is seeing a toy.
Yeah.
So we are viewing the same thing but having different minds that are telling us, I want to make money out of this, I want to take pictures for posting. So the perspective of the things your perspective contributes a lot on the way you run things, the way you do things, the way you talk to people, your daily life. So when you change the way you look at things, very many things can turn around for you. If you just look at a bottle and just see a plastic thing, that's your perspective. But if I see plastic that's going to make money, I'm going to wake up in the morning and start making money out of it. Whilst someone else is seated there and they're seeing trash. People collect chupa on the roads. Neka tugomala okunywa amazzi osuula kasuule. Gwe okasudda wali wali mukulaba ssente. Kati golaba kasasiro yalaba ssente. So it's about your mindset, like what are you seeing? And the environment you surround yourself with defines how you view things. If you're with, let me say, the rich people, the well people, the educated people, there's a way they view things that some other group of people will view like wrongly. So when you surround yourself with the right people, the right environment, everything changes view. Like if I'm with Edrin, and Edrin is like, she's my friend and she's buying a car, she's building a house. Some people might view it as competition, like, oh my God, I should like compete and everything. But from another point of view is, how are you doing it? What can I do like to be better? So I'm surrounding myself with a good influence that is opening up like my eyes to new fields, to new perspective, to change just the way I think about things, and to surround yourself and wake up every morning and say, I want to be positive today. It's going to be a good day. I'm going to do this. I will not fail. I want to be ahead. I want to be the tail and everything. So your view affects you in very many ways. How you handle relationships, how you move with people, how you respect them, how are you handling everything around you, how are you handling your future, how are you in your waiting season? You're in your waiting season, but you're viewing failure. You're there up and down, you're not getting everything, you're just in competition. Hey, this one has left me, my friends are all getting married, blah blah blah. So you're viewing everything on a rush. You're in a roller coaster of things instead of like sitting down and analyze, calm down, change everything about you. But it all comes back to, how are you handling yourself? How is your relationship with God? How are you moving? So yeah, perspective is really important.
Yeah. So where one is seeing a business opportunity in amidst the mess, another is seeing a business opportunity.
Yeah.
So we are here on the Girls Talk Show. That time has come for the break. We're going to take a short commercial break. Do not turn your TV because we have amazing insight for you. Let's be back.
Good Day TV, transforming your life.
Omulabi wa Good Day TV, Sunday yo tujongeddemu ebirungo. Tosuba program our vows. Ekyamazima ogenda kunyumirwa emikolo omuli okwanjula, embaga wamu n'okumanya ebipya eri gwateekateeka omukolo.
Obufumbo obulungi, obufumbo bwa muwendo, obufumbo bwa kitiibwa, ababiri bafuuka omu, lubereberye 224.
Obufumbo ky'ekigambo eky'ekitiibwa kyalagirwa Katonda ng'abantu tebanaba kwonoona.
Ebimu ku bipya by'ogenda okumanya mwe muli ddiko ow'omulembe, ennyambala eriko n'ebirala bingi. Buli lwa Sande essaawa 12 ez'akawungeezi, nange Nansereko Tabitha Matovu.
Don't miss on Guguda TV.
Wayagala ebyuma ebirungi ebyogera Pasita Pasiteri atunda nange ngoma n'enjita zonna Pasita Pasiteri amplifier n'emizindalo Pasita Pasiteri ebitala bya siteegi ebyebika byonna Pasita Pasiteri ebyuma bya ivetisi tubirina byonna Pasita Pasiteri awutudde wa sikirini tupangisa Pasita Pasiteri ku kizimbe kya Newmark William Street Pasita Pasiteri kati ndogendayo musajja mwesigwa kituufu endo gye gisoboka ekibanja mpola akikwata wagula ebyekkanisa jangu ewa Pasita Pasiteri
tusangibwa ku kizimbe kya Newmark ku William Street ku ground floor room number N31 opposite DFCU Bank. Essimu noti 78200 ne noti 75200 wano wokka we tusangibwa.
Guguda TV, transforming your life.
You're welcome from a short commercial break. My name is Atolinda Ameria, and every last Friday of the month, we're always here with La Charla. La Charla means a recap. Today I'm not alone in studio. I am with Martha and Adrian, and they are explaining to us, sharing insights with us. So, Eddie, should I begin with you or I should begin with Martha?
It's okay.
Okay. So, Eddie, do you think wisdom is different from knowledge? Do you think wisdom is more important than knowledge? What do you think? Should we?
Wisdom and knowledge.
Is there a difference? Is either important or both of them are important?
Well, wisdom and knowledge are different.
Okay.
And both of them are important. So, I would say knowledge is where you know, it's like knowing what to do.
Okay.
And then wisdom could be knowing when to do that thing you want to do or where to do it. So I would say knowledge is earned on a personal basis. I earn the knowledge, but I get wisdom from God, because the Bible tells us that wisdom comes from God. And the reason as to why both of them are important is because the Bible tells us that people perish due to lack of knowledge. So it means knowledge is quite important. And at the same time, the Bible tells us that at all cost, even if it costs you everything, get wisdom. So both of them are really important. And so I'll just give an example. The reason also I'm saying both of them are important is because if, let me give this example of a married couple fighting. No, let me not say fighting, but having a misunderstanding. So knowledge will tell you to tell your husband that you tell your husband how you feel and how you felt during the misunderstanding, or what your emotions, how your emotions were. But wisdom will tell you to wait until the chaos is calm, because if you're to tell your husband at that point when you are still in the misunderstanding, you may say the wrong things. So wisdom will tell you wait until you have settled and everything is cool, because you will be able to come to him in a cool manner, and you'll be able to say the right things. Because if you come at that point when you're still having the misunderstanding, you may even fight them more. So it is important to have wisdom, and it's also important to have knowledge. Yeah.
Martha, what do you think? And also, what hinders us from acquiring either?
In my perspective is knowledge is more like information, facts, what's real, or the actual thing on ground. Knowledge is gained mostly from books. You can read about it. You can read what's going on in the world, what to do, science, everything. That's knowledge. What to go to school to gain. Wisdom is good, first of all, from experience, from scenarios you've had, from inquiring, from like advice from people. So knowledge is knowing I'm going to knock myself if I trip over. Wisdom is like I've tripped over this very same thing, so I know what to do. So whereas knowledge gives you information, wisdom helps you to make good judgment, to make the right decisions, to be like, I know this, these are all my options. Then wisdom is what gives you the power of discernment to be like, this is the right thing to do. So wisdom is what points out all the consequences of all the actions you're going to do, of whatever you're going to say, what is going to come up in front. So wisdom is as important as knowledge. But just like he said, we need wisdom, and it's mostly gotten from God. So from my point of view is they are equally very, very, very important. And what hinders us, for knowledge, I feel like people just don't want to learn. They don't want. They want to read books.
That's true.
And if
you want to hide anything from an
put in a book. People be there. They don't equip themselves with anything.
In fact, even those that go to school study to pass and not to have the knowledge.
After that, people go to Mubuza between one say, it's cramming for the paper. So like, we Africans, mostly us, don't want to read anything. We are not like, we don't have the culture of reading. So that's why we are not as knowledgeable as people like who read more than us. Because knowledge is found in books. It's found on the news. We no longer watch news. It's found in, let me say, podcasts. We no longer watch that. All we do is scroll on TikTok, find the latest show, who watch together, who is trending. But you ask them, what happened on the news? People wake up in the morning and they do not even know it's a public holiday. But it was announced on the news. You're like, that's how we are unknowledgeable, like, about very many things. So what hinders us, like from just what Edwin said at first, we don't have that curiosity of wanting to know. You find people have books in their homes, but they are dusted.
Yeah.
No one touches it to read it. Like, they're for aesthetics. They have like a bookshelf. There they have it, but almost nothing is in the books. So like, we don't really want, like said, what hinders us from getting the knowledge is we don't want. And wisdom is helping you make decisions on what you're knowledgeable about. So how are you going to be wise on something you don't actually know? So you're not knowledgeable at all. Where is wisdom going to apply to you? So there's nowhere wisdom is going to apply to something you do not know. So that's why people are called foolish, and like they're, I want to say that ugly words about like being dumb and everything. And someone is calling you dumb and you're getting it as an offensive thing, but honestly you are dumb. Wow. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. I've interacted with people that are actually annoying. Like, tewa inachiva money on anything. Like, my dad always wants someone who is knowledgeable about almost everything. At least know what's going on in the world. At least know something in the Bible. At least know something in a book. Have a book you're reading at some point, at least all the time. So that when I ask you a question, you have at least something to say. Yeah. Have you met people who are angazi, like, who is the president of Uganda, and you don't know? And they have that thing. Tell me what do you mean, like, as a person, like, why are you living such a reckless life of being unknowledgeable about situations? You fall into something, you're being interviewed, you're being asked, nigga is blank. I'm like, banangi. Yeah. So we need that culture. It's a culture I think someone has to put into, like, want to know, like, want to read, want to find out. You have to yearn to get knowledge. It's very appalling and like interesting to find someone who loves learning, who loves reading, who loves being knowledgeable. When they're called upon to ask about, being asked about something, like they have an answer to everything. Personally, I grew up from, my dad doesn't want someone who doesn't have an answer. No is not an answer.
Yeah.
So what do you mean, I do not know? Why don't you know in the first place? Why? So I feel like what hinders us the most is we don't want to read. We are careless. Be like tebinkwatako, bigena kunga sachi, everything birimu sente, everything we are what am sente, so like such things.
Never know short things.
Small
TikTok. People don't no longer want to watch.
As long as there is something involving reading, people are given medication. Like I've met people because I'm in the medical field, like tamayina byamira, like and it's basic. You know, when you go to the pharmacy, they write it there, and how many times you have to take, and someone is like, but there was a leaflet in the medication. You would have read everything. So I feel like it should be a culture to want to know, because you have to use the wisdom to the knowledge you already have. So I feel like it's a culture you have to embrace so that you can use wisdom and knowledge simultaneously, because they go hand in hand with each other. Yeah.
So it's not that we should have one and leave the other.
Yeah.
We must have both.
And I feel like you really can't have wisdom when you don't have knowledge. So there's no going to be like, I'm wise.
How can you be
How
wise?
can you be wise without really being knowledgeable? So yeah.
So, what is that topic that, apart from the first topic we talked about, so what is that other topic that you feel like you want a woman to interest themselves with? They'll get to understand it, that caught your eye really?
I think I would say the wisdom of knowing when.
Oh, there.
The wisdom of knowing when. It is very key. You know, as women, we tend to act according to emotions.
Yeah.
When I'm angry, when I'm very excited, when I'm sad, we tend to act according to how we feel. And we have ended up making the wrong decisions, honestly.
Yeah.
You find, let me just give this example. And everyone talks about it. You find someone choosing a man out of your emotions. Because at that point, oh, Vanage, he's very cute. Hey. Like, you are so excited at that moment. And after like 2 years in marriage,
you
start seeing different things.
Did I?
That is why wisdom is very key. There are things that you have seen about this man that have interested you and you're so excited about them. But before you make any decision, ask yourself, am I making this decision out of my emotions or out of wisdom? If it is out of wisdom, trust me, you will first think of, is this man going to be the best father to my children? Is this man going to be someone I can trust with my money? Because honestly, these days, women marry men and you find they can't even trust their husbands with their money. So if you cannot trust your husband with your money, how about your children? Did you first think about that? So really, we really need to, as women, I'm talking to the girls out there, we need to learn to always first sit down and ask ourselves, is this decision I'm making coming from my emotions? First, when you're excited, first cool down. And after you've cooled down, now you can decide. And always think far beyond before making any decision. First think of the future. First think of, if I'm taking this job, let's say you got a job up country, first think of, how am I going to leave my home and go up country? Like, first think about it and know if you can really fit in. Yes. So
and actually, some people make decisions out of like the atmosphere. For example, if we see there's a season where many people are getting married, and they're like, I need to rush. I need to also get married. Yes, my friends are married. I need to also show a ring or together. netwogeza omwoyo omutukuvu naye nga mbutuufu
Mwoyo angambye.
omwoyo tegedde
Omwoyo gw'obufumbo.
guli kunze notandika okuscreeninga mu mikwano gyawo gyolaba next best opportunity golaba gosobola okugendamu awo my
Ndi mu
dear
season yange nze gwe
okitegeera
Mukama ayogedde nange.
kumbe mukama tannayogera tewali naye we need to understand and get to know when to act.
Yeah.
There are certain times that we act wrongly. There's some incident that happened as a friend.
Where she began.
Yeah. So I was with a friend and hey, we're in an office and yeah, she's like, oh, we were talking about something and then some gentleman comes in and and then he's like, oh, I ordered for this. It should be XX. It should be like XXXXL. So my friend goes like, yeah, we ordered for it. It is 4XL. And the gentleman is like, it is XXXXL. You know, they are talking about the same thing, but you know, it's like a rebuttal. And then after she's like, why was I even doing that? It's literally the same thing. So when let's say it was a marriage and he's a husband, he has come back home late, tired, and you're there rebutting their things. You see how it can really become bad and not really good. So we need to understand, when do I react? When your friend, when your spouse is really hot-tempered and you really see, because you know that here if I speak, but pride. You feel like, I should tell him, I am peace, no man know.
When they go low, dig a grave.
Okay, let's go. Hey, let's, like you literally do a rebuttal. But deep down in your heart, you know that you'd have just let it go.
Yeah.
It's just a simple thing. So you need to understand when to act and when not to. May wisdom guide us. May wisdom really guide us. Because there are certain times you've actually replied.
When it comes to replying.
My God. The boss tells you, please do this. And then for you, you're there acting like, no, sir, it's supposed to be this. Oh, God, why are you rebutting? Let it go. You will talk about it another time.
Yeah.
Find time to speak about it, but let it go. Martha, what is that topic?
Apart from her topic, like really standing out for me, because it was one that really caught me, and I'm a stubborn person, and
You're the
I'm
one
a
that likes your
debater.
back.
So when I love proving a point. So it really stood out for me. But the take home will be the being teachable.
Okay.
It is very attractive when someone loves to learn. As girls, okay, the society and social media is really teaching us otherwise. And once you start on that journey of what social media is telling you, who is teaching you, it is they're telling you to rebel, not to be humble, not to be submissive and stuff. But being teachable is really attractive. It shows how much of a child you are in front of your big people, like the elders and the big people in your life. So being teachable is one virtue that I would like every girl out there to take on, because it cost me a lot. It cost me it cost me a good job. It cost me like that kind of, you know, when now someone views you in the kind of pride, like proud person. So yeah, I feel like accept to be taught, accept, just be humble, sit in the space of wanting to learn from people, from even the youngest kid. You feel like they have no business actually telling you what to do, but you can learn even in the littlest moments, like the very, very basic things from anyone. So I feel like even if you know something, while someone is teaching you, don't make them look stupid, like
have no money. Allow usually
so like it's like you're telling them, don't waste your time on like me. So it's kind of mean and rude. So failing to be teachable is one thing that when accept to learn, by the way, all these things fall into place. You get knowledge. You end up being wise. You end up sitting in space just to what to be taught. And even before you speak some things out, just because you know something and you're like willing to learn, you don't just rush into speaking things. You're not driven by your emotions, like Edwin said. You do not just like, because we are emotional human beings, like once I'm like pissed, I'm going to come at you and call you out on everything. But I feel like be teachable. Sit and wait and learn. Sometimes we feel like we've read the Bible from our HMs tell us, I've read the Bible from cover to cover. So I feel like there's nothing you guys can be telling here. So there is something you missed while you were reading that Bible from cover to cover. I'm not sure you read everything bit by bit that have grasped like everything. So even if you know a concept, I feel like sit in the space. Maybe you will be like, oh, kanombade na kosikola. Sikamani. But when you're telling them,
Good Day TV, transforming your life.
Omulabi wa Good TV Sunday yo tujongeddemu ebirungo tosoba program Vows. Ekyamazima ogenda kunyumirwa emikolo omuli okwanjula embaga wamu n'okumanya ebipya eri gwateekateeka omukolo.
Obufumbo obulungi, obufumbo bwa muwendo, obufumbo bwa kitiibwa, ababiri bafuuka omu, lubereberye 224.
Obufumbo ky'ekigambo eky'ekitiibwa kyalagirwa Katonda ng'abantu bannaba kwonoona.
Ebimu ku bipya by'ogenda okumanya mwe muli ddiko ow'omulembe, ennyambala eriko n'ebirala bingi. Buli lwa Sande essaawa 12 ez'akawungeezi nange Nansereko Tabitha Matovu.
Don't miss on Guguda TV. Guguda TV, transforming your life.
Welcome back. We are sorry about that. There's a technical glitch in there, but we're back. And yes, we are continuing. Yes, Eddie, what is that one thing that you'd really, really want to leave to a girl out there that is watching the show?
Okay. Thank you so much, Ameria, for that question. For every girl out there, please learn. Aside from you being beautiful, it is so attractive for you to have knowledge. It makes you a flower. When you enter a room and everyone wants to listen from you, get the knowledge you can get. And even the Bible states it clearly. And also another thing that I've realized about the commands that God tells us in the Word is these commands are always not easy to get. It's not easy to get knowledge, but He's telling you that when you get the knowledge, you cannot perish. So, every girl out there, please seek knowledge. Read those books. Read the Word above all, and learn from people as much as you can. Thank you.
Yes, my dear. What is that one thing or two that you'd really like to leave to the viewers or the girl out there?
My one thing I would like to leave to the girl out there is, number one, love the Lord with all your heart. Love the Lord. every opportunity you're called upon to serve the Lord. Just like you want God to rush when you're making those prayers. Rush to serve the Lord. Avail yourself. Be a vessel. Allow the Lord to use you like in all ways. When you're making those prayers, oh God, I need money, and then you're giving God half-baked. I don't feel like if you're praying for tuition and God gave you half of it, you'd be really happy. So I feel like give your all while serving the Lord. Number 2 is relationships are really important. The society is telling us to cut people off, call people out, stay alone, stay toxic, stay what, those things. Social media is really lying to us. People are really important. We need one another. We need each other. And no man is an island. So don't sit there abusing people, cutting people off. We need each other. You need that friend you're cutting off. You don't know who you're going to meet in an office one day. You don't know who you're going to bump into, any connection. I feel like we are getting all self-centered, and this whole preaching of self-loving, and it's drifting us from the culture we had of having friendships, talking, making the visits.
You'd know everyone around the village. At least from the road to your home.
Exactly.
You'd know everyone.
But lately,
everyone
invest in those relationships, the friendships. If something has, people are not really nice, but if there is something that has not worked out well, sit down and talk, other than just cutting people off. It's a very, very wrong concept. People are not really nice, but make an effort of keeping people in your life. Don't just be the I'm a loner kind of person. Love the Lord, make good relationships, equip yourself with knowledge. Yes, and keep yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Ladies, wow. As much as we'd love to continue with the discussions, time is up and we really need to send our goodbyes. Now, tonight we have been looking at La Charla. These are the programs that we've had all throughout the month of July. And these are the take-homes that we have, that our guests have taught us. Be knowledgeable. Love wisdom. The Bible says that wisdom is a principal thing. In all you're doing, get wisdom. In whatever you do. And you can't have wisdom if you don't have knowledge. Go deep down in there, read the books, study the word. You know, meanwhile, there are times that we study the word, but then when you go back, you're like, I might have missed this. This is something new. So study the word, understand. Even as much as you read it cover to cover, still go back and read. Be teachable. Be teachable. Also, understand when you're supposed to react. May wisdom guide us on this. Because oftentimes, we want to react in any way that we would want. But our guests have told us, let us be cautious at how and what we respond to. There are some conversations that you don't need to respond to. There's a Luganda saying that says, and oftentimes when I'm heated up, it comes back in my mind. I'm like, okay, what is the outcome of this? So you don't need to comment on everything. You don't need to prove yourself that you were right. Let it go. Let it go. Understand when you should speak. Otherwise, we will miss out on many opportunities. Well, I've been at Linda Ameria. In studio, I've been with Martha Nandutu and Adrian Muhindo. See you next Friday. Shalom.
Bye.